The first £1 notes were issued by the Bank of England in 1797. The earliest notes were handwritten on one side only and had the name of the payee, the date, and the signature of the cashier. Oh yeah, let's not forget about the denomination. Soon after this, they were actually monochrome printed on paper, but by 1821 they were no longer issued and were replaced by gold sovereigns instead. But by the start of the First World War in 1914, the British government wanted to maintain its stocks of gold, so gold sovereigns were replaced by £1 notes. I don't have any of those really early banknotes, but I've got a few here that we can have a look at and discuss. The Bank of England's first post-World War I £1 note was this two-sided printed green note which first came into use in 1928. On the front here we can see Britannia seated and facing us, the denomination in letters at the bottom left, and the number in the top right there, and the serial numbers. Turning it over, we can see the image of the Bank of England there, and on the left and the right we have the image of two gold sovereigns showing St. George defeating the dragon. In 1940, following the outbreak of World War II, the green £1 notes were issued in a new blue-orange colour scheme to deter counterfeiters at the time. And this is what we're looking at here. If I place them next to each other, you can see that the design remained exactly the same, except for the colour change. There we go, that's what they look like once I've turned them over. At the same time as the colour change, they added the metal thread running through the paper as an added security feature, which you can see here. Also you can see the watermark there of Britannia. Then in 1948 the notes were returned back to their original green colour and they kept the metallic security thread. And that's what I've got here. This banknote is one of the older issues. As you can see, it has the metallic thread running through it, and also the Britannia watermark. In 1960, a new £1 banknote was introduced, and the old notes ceased to be legal tender in 1962. And as you can see, these £1 notes were the first to feature Queen Elizabeth II on the front. It's also a slightly thinner banknote than the previous ones. And when we turn it over, we can see that it has the Bank of England logo. And then in 1978, we move on to this series of £1 banknotes, featuring a totally new design of Queen Elizabeth II on the front here. And then when we flip it over, we can see the scientist and mathematician Sir Isaac Newton on the back. And then in 1983, this happened. The introduction of the first £1 coin. Apparently the reason for this was that the average banknote only lasts about 9 years, whereas coins can last up to 40 years. Also, the government at the time believed that the growing vending industry would benefit from the introduction of a £1 coin. Good old gambling, eh? So on March the 11th, 1988, the £1 paper banknote ceased to exist in favour of the coin. And it doesn't stop there, my friends, as more meddling continued. In 2017, a new £1 coin was introduced. This 12-sided bimetallic jobby here. As you can see, it's got Queen Elizabeth on the front, and when we turn it over, it has the 4 emblems of each nation within the UK on the back. The English Rose, the Leek for Wales, the Scottish Thistle, and the Shamrock for Northern Ireland. These coins were introduced as it was estimated that of the 1.5 million old coins in circulation, just over 3% of them were counterfeit. And this is where we are today when it comes to the £1. A journey that started in 1797 with paper and has ended up in 2021 with a bimetallic coin. And before I go, I have one final bit of useless information for you. A £1 banknote in 1971 that had the buying power of £1 back in the day now has the equivalent buying power of just 7 pence. That's a 93% drop. Inflation, eh? Alright, I hope this was of interest to someone out there. If you did like this video, then please subscribe to the channel as it's free. Here are a few more videos that you might not have seen, so do check them out. And until the next one, bye for now.